This one came from a stranger in a town you've never heard of. After I heard it, I can't sleep the same. If you skip this, it'll be your biggest regret of 2025. She answered America's last payphone and vanished forever. What would you do if that call rang for you? I used to think payphones were relics, until I met Ava. She was an independent photojournalist in her early 30s, curious and fearless, but she never believed in ghosts. Ava had always been obsessed with stories of the unknown ever since her brother disappeared without a trace years ago. Every new lead she uncovered felt like she was getting closer to understanding what happened to him, until it was too late. Her strange hobby, photographing abandoned payphones, frozen echoes of unfinished stories, she'd say. In the spring of 2022, Ava set off alone from Denver, armed with her camera and a binder of payphone locations she'd collected online. Day after day, she chased rusted booths on back roads and forgotten highways, snapping frame after frame. Yet none held the same pull as what she'd find in Marlow, Nebraska. She arrived around golden hour, the sun slanting through wind-blown tumbleweeds. At the edge of an old Route 66 diner, half a block from a boarded-up gas station, stood the payphone. The air around Marlow always felt thick, like something was waiting, like the whole town was holding its breath. But Ava didn't feel it. Or maybe she was too focused on the next photo. The faded yellow paint peeled like sunburnt skin. The handset hung loosely by its cord, swaying in a breeze you couldn't feel. No signage, no wires, just that lonely silhouette begging for attention. Ava lifted her camera. As she framed the shot, black clouds crept over the horizon, casting the booth in sudden shadow. Her viewfinder sputtered, pixels dancing like ghosts. She shuddered twice, heart hammering, then drove on, chalking it up to an equipment glitch. That night in her roadside motel, she reviewed photos. The payphone frames blinked oddly. One shot showed a faint glow behind the booth, as if lit from within. She leaned back, unsettled, when the landline rang. "Hello?" she answered. Silence. Then, "You saw it, didn't you?" The voice was low, warped by static. "Who is this?" A rattling sigh. "He keeps the ones who answer." Click. Her hands trembled as she stared at the handset. With each call, Ava's body grew colder, her heartbeat faster. The voice on the other end wasn't just asking her to come back, it was demanding it. "You'll regret this," it whispered. "Come back, finish the call, and you'll understand." Milo, her tabby, arched and hissed at the empty corner. Behind her eyelids, she saw the booth glowing under storm clouds. Relentless pursuit. Over the next 3 days, Ava chased that call. Every time she let her guard down, a diner's payphone, a gas station wall unit, her cell buzzed with the same phantom ring. No number, no name, just breath quickening on the line and a whisper, "Come back, finish the call." Each time she hung up, blood cold, but her pulse raced faster than her fear. What if, and if, she ignored it forever. In town, she found crumbling newspapers and an old postcard. Marlow's payphone was installed in 1968 and removed in 1974 after the last person vanished without a trace. The story said she was a teenager named Lila Hayes, who called mid-storm and walked straight into a lightning bolt that scarred the booth forever. Her family found her jacket, bright red, draped over the receiver, but no body. Some claimed her ghost haunted the switchboard at the old telephone exchange downtown. Ava's research led her to the retired operator, Mrs. Jenkins, now in her 80s. With trembling hands, the woman recounted blue-white flashes during that storm and a scream that echoed through wiring shafts. "Some things best left unplugged," she warned. staring at Ava's camera like it was a conduit. Ignoring every warning, Ava camped near the diner on a stormy night. Wind rattled the diner's shutters. Thunder rolled like distant cannons. At midnight, a flash illuminated the plate glass window. There it was again, the payphone, pristine and humming in the rain. Ava's breath caught. Lightning split the sky. The booth's interior glowed with pale light. Her field recorder crackled. She lifted the receiver, and her voice trembled as she spoke her name. Her fingers brushed the cold metal of the receiver, her breath coming in short, shallow gasps. "Who are you?" she whispered. But the voice that answered was no longer human. It was as though the booth itself spoke to her, its crackling whispers full of death. The receiver slipped from her fingers, a rope pulling her into the darkness beyond the booth. And then, silence. Silence, then that ragged breathing, closer this time. Ava whispered, "Who are you?" A low chuckle answered, "I've been waiting." The recorder fell silent. Rain pounded her shoulders. She glanced at the diner's door, locked. Back at the booth, the receiver slipped from her hand, dangling by its cord like a noose. Lightning struck, and Ava vanished. I didn't believe it until I drove to Marlow myself last month. The thing is, I've heard the ring too. Now it's calling for me, for you. If you ever visit Marlow, don't answer that phone, and don't say I didn't warn you. Parked where she'd snapped her first shot. The booth stood under darkening skies. My phone buzzed. One ring. Caller ID. None. I didn't answer. But now every night I hear it. One ring. Static. Nothing else. Would you dare to answer a phone that hasn't worked in 20 years? She did, and she's still missing. If you love true horror, subscribe and share your creepiest payphone story in the comments.